Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whenever you're watching me right now. My name is Jay Luke, the owner and operator of the Passionate Network, where we amplify the voices, elevate the culture, and champion the musicians. I'm also the host of Talk That Talk. And remember, you can get any of our merchandise right here on this channel. Remember, you can get 30% off that purchase. Just type in HBCU Band. Also, click that like, subscribe, and notification button or bell. It's a bell. It dings whenever we post anything. Anyway, man, I wanted to talk about this. I saw this pop up on my timeline, and actually somebody sent it to me, and then I saw it pop up on my timeline. Actually, let me go back a little further. This popped up in my text messages, and then someone sent it to me, and then it popped up on my timeline. But Sonic Boom of the South is going to ATL, as you know, because of the Celebration Bowl, and they are popping out with a performance on a Friday night. And if I'm not mistaken, it is the same time as the BOTY. And it just goes on to say it's official. We'll be in Atlanta next week for the event we actually agreed to participate in. See y'all at the Celebration Bowl. Love the boom. Now, I have seen multiple thought processes on this. Some people are saying it's petty. Some people are saying, this is a shot. Some people are saying multiple things. This is what I took from this. And this is after someone had to explain it to me. Because when I got it in the text message, I looked at it and I was like, I don't get it. And I'm gonna be very honest, that was my response. And then once someone explained it to me, I was like, oh. And then from there, I had to sit and look back and ponder it and think about it and really process it. And so I'm going to read it again, but I'm going to read it a little different. We'll be in Atlanta next week for the event we actually agreed to participate in. See you at the Celebration Bowl. You see the inflection changes things, right? Because if I say we'll be in Atlanta next week for the event we actually agreed to participate in, see y'all. But when I say we'll be in Atlanta next week for the event we actually agreed to participate in, you see it just gives a little bit more to it. But outside of that, though, here's my thing. I think more or less anything, this screams, what is this really trying to say, in the sense of maybe, just maybe, and I could be completely wrong. And I say this all the time. I'm open to the possibility that I'm wrong. I'm open to being objective and looking at things from a different particular lens. But when I finally understood and somebody explained it to me, the first thing that I thought was, just maybe people are seeing and realizing things for what they are and not trying to fabricate a thought process about something. Right? Like we say this all the time. I know we say this behind closed doors, but and I mean I've seen it said in a lot of other spaces, right? Like, sometimes the loudest voices does not necessarily mean you're right. Okay? Just because you have the availability to step out and do things doesn't mean that they're necessarily done the right way. And what I'm saying is, there have been people, not me specifically. And I'll say it like this: from the grace of God, I have the availability to put my thoughts out there. And I do that. And I'm going to continue to put my thoughts out there. That's not going to stop. But what I'm trying to say is, maybe the thoughts that I'm having just aren't my thoughts. Maybe the thoughts that I'm having are multiple people's thoughts, but because they're not the loudest voices in the room, they're just not projecting them. Or they may be projecting them, but they're just not being heard. That's very possible. Now, again, I'm not speculating one way or another, but what I am saying is, to me, in my opinion, once it was explained to me, because again, I didn't understand it when I first read it. And it's maybe because I read it the first way. And then once I read it with the inflection after it was explained to me, then I was like, oh. But again, I think people are seeing, or people see things from a perspective that, in my opinion now, is based in a lot of logic. But because a lot of people can have emotional responses, and are the loudest voices in the room, that tends to be the thing or the narrative that takes place. And all I'm saying is maybe, just maybe, the people who are not the loudest voices in the room may be all on the same page thinking the same thing. I'm just saying. Now, you can take that whatever way you want to. And the reason why I say that is because of the fact that we honestly don't know what they truly meant by it. We don't know. But we're all going to speculate on one side or the other. And so my opinion is based on my speculation. Remember, understand this. We don't know exactly what they meant from this. They could have been talking about someone else, something else, another particular thing. Now, what I will say is this. It's on the same night as the BOTY, which I think is crazy. And now I'm going to be objective. In my opinion, that is kind of petty. It is. I'm not going to say it's not. But here we go. Here's the objectiveness. It is kind of petty, but here's my other thought. They're going to the Celebration Bowl. And here we go. Also, in my opinion, they're one of, if not the top HBCU band out there. Why don't you have an exhibition at the BOTY with the bands that are a part of the Celebration Bowl? To me, that just makes sense. I mean, I could be wrong, but that way, not only are you locking in, and this is just my suggestion, this is just my opinion. Y'all, at the end of the day, BOTY is going to do what they want to do, but this is just my opinion. And that way, you're locking in the two bands that are going to not only be a part of the Celebration Bowl, but 9 times out of 10, whatever team is going to be at the Celebration Bowl is probably going to be, specifically from the SWAC, it's probably going to be a band that people want to see anyway. Just saying. So in my opinion, that's a bigger draw. Marketing. We're not only going to have the bands that were voted on, but we're also going to have the bands that were also selected or that will also be participating in the Celebration Bowl. I'm just saying. So they got their joint going on Friday night. Like I said, it's kind of petty, but, hey, they going to be there. And they weren't invited to anything else. At least I don't think so. I'm assuming. That one is an assumption. I'm assuming that they weren't invited to anything else. They may have been, but whatever. All I'm going to say is y'all tell me y'all thoughts inside of the comment section. Like I said, for me, this speaks louder than anybody jumping on, even myself. If I would have never jumped on and talked about this, to me personally, this still speaks louder. So you guys tell me inside of the comment section what's your thoughts, what you all think on this. Do y'all think it's a little petty? I do think it's a little petty. A little petty. I do. But do you all think that they're trying to say something else, or what do you think they're trying to say? You all tell me inside of the comment section. Don't forget, you can get 30% off your purchase. Just type in HBCU band. Go ahead and click that like button, subscribe button, and turn on notifications, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.